All right. So let's finish this up. 26 was under coverage because you would think that there's a good chance that trail students would respond differently than all students. All right. What is a placebo? A fake drug? So I'd say, wait, did we? Oh, that got, okay, I just noticed something. Under coverage got written several problems down. So 24 was under coverage. But for some reason it glitched and wrote it down there. So before we even get to placebos, you're right. It's a fake drug or a harmless drug, right? Let me go back up to 25 because it skipped several. So what is double blinding? Go ahead, let me know.
When neither the subject nor those who interact with them knows if they are receiving a treatment or control.
Neither the subject or the experimenter knows who is getting the control, the placebo. So the control would be, for example, the placebo. Oh. So that's a good question. So you would think that if there's a company testing for a new drug, they're probably going to blind the doctors as well. Say, give the doctors two separate drugs. One of them is actually the drug. One of them is actually the placebo. Maybe the pills have A on one and B on the other, so that the doctor can then report to the company that all of the people who were assigned pill A showed this type of improvement versus all the people who were assigned pill B had this type of improvement. So hang on 1 second. You said it leads to bias. Well, you would think that this could potentially eliminate bias because otherwise the doctor could be giving that pill to all of the known working pills or drug pills to certain people while making his own bias give the placebos to certain types of people. Patel, what were you saying? It could be used for psychological patients. It could be used for any type of patients. It could be, potentially very sick cancer patients, ones that they think are not necessarily as likely to survive. They could be given either drug A or drug B in order to see if there's any type of improvement. So double blinding is important so that bias is actually potentially eliminated. A doctor's going to have bias.
That's all I want.
Every single, whether you're a doctor or a person sleeping in the back of the room, you're going to have bias. I'm sorry, also front of the room, or side of the room. If you're a person, you have bias, okay? And that's true of doctors as well. 3 or 4, for a cookie, what is the first element of experimental design? First, Stevie. Tell me one of them. Control would be the first one. If you're experimenting, you need a control group for comparison. Dayla, do you have the second? Being random. So that you have a good sample. Patel, tell me the third. Replicate. So these first 3 are required for experimental design. And Alfonso, did you have the fourth? Placebo is not the fourth. Zach, what did you get? Blinding is part of control. Austin, blocking. Nick, I did hear you, but he had his hand up. Austin, good job. That is blocking. It is not required, but is usually a pretty good idea. All right, we already touched on this. 27, what are placebos and what are they used for? You were saying fake drugs? Yeah, it doesn't have to be a drug, but most commonly is. Fake, harmless drugs used for control to make the patients think they're being treated. So if you do split up an experiment into drugs versus placebos, no. So what are the? All right. So they're used for control, and this gets into what are the differences between factors, variables, and treatments. When you have drugs versus placebos in an experiment, that is the variable right there. Drugs versus placebo, that's what you're checking. Factors are more or less the same things as blocks. If you think something like males versus females are going to react differently. And even then, males, females, you might want to check whether they have a high dosage, low dosage. So when you make these charts like this, high, low, high, low. If it asks for a treatment, that means each branch. So somebody who gets a placebo, who is a female with a low dose, is one treatment. Placebo female high dose is one treatment. Placebo male high dose, placebo male low dose is a treatment. This experiment, as I just drew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 treatments. Really quick, everybody say bye. I'm going to end this. Hit me up in the comments. Hit subscribe. Smash like.